This sweet 19-year-old girl is Princess Kalina of Bulgaria, and here she is 33 years later. Her transformation is unbelievable, and it's hard to recognize her in the latest photos. Everyone wants to know what happened to the princess and why she changed so much. But don't rush to think that plastic surgery is to blame. When you discover the whole truth, you will realize that her story is heartbreaking. Princess Kalina of Bulgaria is perhaps one of the most eccentric royals in the modern world. She is less popular than, for example, Kate Middleton or Queen Rania. The Princess of Bulgaria does not strive to be in the public eye and leads a private lifestyle with her family. She rarely appears in public, but always surprises everyone with her unusual outfits. The princess has also long been passionate about sports and regularly visits the gym. But recently her muscles have gained incredible volume, which surprised everyone. In May 2024, Princess Kalina appeared in public for the first time in 4 years. She attended the funeral ceremony with her husband and son. These photos went viral and were distributed in media around the world. People were surprised by Princess Kalina's unusual transformation and wanted to discover what happened to her and what caused it. The princess briefly answers all detailed questions. "I'm an athlete." She claims that she feels great mainly when she trains, but few people know that there was a lot of pain and suffering in the princess's life. Dramatic events in her life led to unusual changes in her appearance, and the princess would like to forget about all this once and for all, but the constant interest of the press and ordinary people reminds her of everything. Princess Kalina's home country is the Republic of Bulgaria. It is a small state in Southeast Europe, part of the European Union, with a population of only 6.4 million people. You will be surprised to know that this country has its own monarchs. However, the monarchy in Bulgaria did not last long. It appeared in 1886 when Bulgaria was liberated from the Ottoman yoke due to the Russian-Turkish War. The first monarch of Bulgaria was Tsar Ferdinand I, and all of today's royals of that country are his descendants. Ferdinand was a German-born prince from a very ancient noble European family. Therefore, many European monarchies supported his ascension to the throne and, of course, the people of Bulgaria. However, in 1946, the monarchy in Bulgaria was abolished because the Soviet system was established after the Second World War. The last king of Bulgaria was Simeon II, who reigned for only 3 years. The boy received the royal title at 6 after his father's death. Therefore, he could not rule the country on his own, so at this time his uncle was regent. After overthrowing the monarchy, the royal family fled his native country to Spain, so King Simeon II lived in exile most of his life. In Madrid, he married Spanish aristocrat Doña Margarita in 1962. The couple had 5 children, 4 sons and 1 daughter. The youngest of them was Princess Kalina. The girl was born in 1972 in Madrid, but she always felt a special connection with her homeland, Bulgaria, and dreamed of returning to the native country of her ancestors. The fate of Princess Kalina from birth was dramatic. It's hard when you are cut off from your roots and homeland. During the years of Soviet power, the family could not return to Bulgaria because they were afraid of repression and persecution. You've probably heard what the Soviet government did to the royal family of the Russian Empire. The Romanovs were shot along with their children, 4 daughters and a son. The Bulgarian monarchs were afraid that the same fate might await them. Therefore, they lived abroad for many years, dreaming of one day returning to their homeland. Only in 1996, after the collapse of Soviet power, was King Simeon able to return to Bulgaria. Of course, then there was no question of him becoming king again. he decided to become a politician and formed the political party National Movement for Stability and Progress. He was also elected Prime Minister of the Republic of Bulgaria from July 2001 until August 2005. His children, including Princess Kalina, came to Bulgaria for the first time. Today's royal titles are nominal and have no power in the country. Even many native Bulgarians don't know about their existence. However, the children of the former King Simeon continue to call themselves princes and princesses and also live like natural aristocrats. Princess Kalina spent her childhood in Madrid. She was the only daughter and the youngest child. She probably received much attention and love from her family. But looking at her four older brothers, she probably always wanted to be as strong and athletic as them. Sports have always been a part of her life. Growing up in Europe, the young princess skied from an early age and often went on hikes with her father in the Alps for 6 to 8 hours. Since her youth, Princess Kalina has also adored fashion and beautiful clothes. In one of her early photographs, taken when she was only 17 years old, she is depicted in an elegant blue outfit with an original hat on her head. The family had enough money to fulfill their daughter's requests. Former King Simeon became a businessman in Spain. He was chairman of the Spanish subsidiary of Thomson, a French defense and electronics group. He was also an advisor in the banking, hotel, electronics, and catering sectors. So, during all the years in exile, the family lived comfortably and occupied a high position in Spanish society, and their children received a good education. Despite her love for sports in her youth, Princess Kalina did not intend to devote her entire life to it. She adored art from a young age. After advancing from the Lycée Français and continuing her studies at the English College in Madrid, Kalina relocated to London for university, where she obtained a degree in history of art. In her youth, Princess Kalina was more interested in beautiful clothes and art than sports. She loved to experiment with her appearance. For example, at 19, she cut her hair short and dyed it blonde. The princess also always had a special love for traditional Bulgarian costumes. A biography shared by the Vrana Palace revealed that princess is strongly captivated by the Bulgarian national embroideries, buckles, crafts, and costumes. She was often seen at public engagements wearing the traditional Bulgarian clothes formerly belonging to Queen Giovanna, combined with modern accents and details. At 30, Princess Kalina met her great love and married a Spanish adventurer, scientist, and former commando, Kitin Munas. Their touching, beautiful wedding took place in 2002. This was a notable event in the royal world. The event attracted hundreds of high-profile guests, including royalty from many European countries. The marriage ceremony took place in Bulgaria, the bride's historical homeland. King Simeon II and Queen Margarita hosted a reception for guests at the Samakov Hotel in Borovets. A documentary was even made about this event. The bride and groom were glowing with happiness. It was a marriage of great love. When the princess is asked how she remembers her wedding day, she says, "I remember not only my wedding day as wonderful, but every day of these 20 years of marriage." The newlyweds had many common interests and hobbies. They are both very eccentric people who love travel and risky experiences. The princess's husband, Kitin Munas, is a very famous adventurer in Spain. He made 3 attempts to cross the Pacific Ocean, 2 of which failed, and 1 failed attempt to cross the Atlantic Ocean, to prove that ancient seafarers sailing in reed boats could have crossed the oceans before the European expeditions of the 15th century. Munas is also a former Spanish Army Special Forces member and an honorary consul of Morocco. He was also appointed as a UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador in 1997. 5 years after the wedding, in 2007, the couple had a beloved son, Simeon, named after his grandfather. The child was born in Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, which is very symbolic. From childhood, his parents instilled a love for his native country. They spend most of their time in Bulgaria, but often travel to Spain and Morocco. Over the years, Princess Kalina, despite her high social and marital status, has increasingly loved eccentric outfits. Sometimes she would show up to important events looking like a rebellious teenager. She always loved experimenting with hairstyles, outfits, and makeup, creating her unique style. In general, she rarely goes out, as she likes to spend most of her time with her family. But if she appears somewhere, she always makes a splash. For example, in 2006, she turned heads at Grand Duke Henry of Luxembourg's silver wedding anniversary celebrations and came in an unforgettable black image. Her gothic look had only two bright accents, red lipstick and a gold belt. In 2010, she loved to go out in public wearing sequined clothes and chunky boots, complementing her look with fashionable glasses. In 2018, she came to the 25th anniversary of King Juan Carlos' father's death wearing unusual sunglasses with reflective elements. She looked like a heroine from a science fiction movie. The princess is also known for her scandalous acts. For example, in 2023 she had an accident. She crashed into another car while drunk. For this, the princess was banned from driving for 8 months and fined over $9,000. But despite all the difficulties, Princess Kalina and Kitin's marriage remains happy and strong. They raised a son, traveled around the Sahara while living in Morocco, and continued to love each other. Today, the family lives in their house in Bulgaria, on their historical estate. The family resides in the mountains of the Bulgarian ski resort of Borovets. This place became one of the happiest for the couple because their son grew up for the first 2 years of his life there, took his first steps and learned to ski. The Soviet power nationalized the royal family's residence, but in 2002 they managed to get their property back. They once celebrated a wedding in this house and are now celebrating another anniversary. The princess loves to speak passionately about her country's and her family's history. She writes books on the topic and participates in creating television series. When journalists ask Princess Kalina the secret of her long marriage, she answers briefly, love. And when asked what she loves most about her husband, she answers, his dedication and care for his son and wife, how he protects us, his respect for me as a woman, his self-confidence, how he accepts me for who I am without complexes. When we got married, he said, I know that I will marry Kalina. Also, with His Royal Highness, I will always respect both. And when Kalina is asked what it's like to be a princess in the 21st century, she replies, the same as at any time, a princess is born, not made. You are contrary to yourself and your personality. It's not something acquired or something that can be erased. You live it from the cradle to the grave. You absorb it before you go, without even realizing it. A centuries-old education passed down from generation to generation. You grow up in this context in a real family. Being a princess is a way of life. It's simplicity, it's prudence. You are a royal princess 24 hours a day, all your life. Now Kalina works as a council member in the Vrana Palace. I love my job, I am happy, she admits in her interview with Hola. It allows me to work with my father, the king, and to learn history from him, the last living king. We collect many of my family's missing historical artifacts and recreate what it was like those wonderful years of the monarchy in Bulgaria. This family is so wonderful. Over the years, husband and wife have lived happily together. Their beautiful son is growing up handsome and successful. But one fact darkened their family idol. Princess Kalina's appearance changed more and more. Her husband, Kitin Munas, always considered her the most beautiful. But the people around her did not give them peace, as they began to notice something was wrong. When Princess Kalina appeared in public in an extravagant outfit in the early 2000s, the press noticed that something had changed on her face. Journalists suggested that she could have had unsuccessful plastic surgery, but the truth turned out to be completely different. After years of speculation, her husband Kitin finally told the truth to the Spanish magazine Hola. According to him, his wife's appearance has changed dramatically due to an accident in her childhood. All the absurd theories of Kalina's different operations and aesthetic treatments are nothing more than misinformation, her husband said in 2018, revealing that his wife had suffered an accident at age 8, resulting in her losing 2 front teeth. In 1999, Princess Kalina decided to see a dentist to have her 2 front teeth fixed and crowns placed. But during the procedure, a complication occurred, causing an infection to enter the princess's body and spread to the nasal cartilage, which was subsequently transformed. The infection showed up while the couple was spending time on an expedition and could not see a doctor for help. It was so dramatic. The impossibility of going to a hospital and the conditions at sea caused the infection to progress and worsen, affected part of her eye, Kitin explained. After the expedition, Princess Kalina was rushed to the hospital, where she underwent emergency surgery. Doctors saved her from a rapidly spreading infection. It caused cosmetic damage, which was not important at that time, since the vital thing was to save the eye and nose from the infection, her husband explained. Unfortunately, the princess's face was deformed, but the most important thing is that she remained alive and well. The family ignored her changes in appearance and thanked fate for simply being with them. After a severe and dramatic incident, the family lived as before. Having miraculously survived a severe infection and surgery, Princess Kalina realized that life is fleeting and we must enjoy every moment. Therefore, she decided to fulfill all her dreams. Now Princess Kalina has a wealth of enjoyable life experiences. She went on almost every expedition with her husband, lived with the nomadic tribes of the Sahara, and often traveled through the mountains with a backpack on her shoulder. Today, Princess Kalina still loves art, as she collected a collection of paintings at home in her youth and loves to draw herself. But in recent years, Kalina's greatest passion has been sports and training in the gym. In the latest photos, the 52-year-old woman's arms look incredibly muscular. These pictures caused a big sensation. After all, her physical form is simply incredible. I didn't expect it. I just wore a sleeveless dress. In the 21st century, a woman's physical form shouldn't be newsworthy, Kalina told Hola magazine. Indeed, the princess trains almost like a professional athlete. She goes to the gym 4 times a week, working out all her muscles. She also runs twice a week for 30 minutes, goes horseback riding, and hikes for at least 4 hours daily. She pays special attention to healthy eating. Kalina tries to eat a varied and nutritious diet. The 52-year-old princess can easily do 300 squats, 300 push-ups, and another 100 pull-ups. The princess has been following a training regime for 2 decades, but only in recent years has she achieved outstanding results and a noticeable transformation. If I don't train, I don't feel well. The only reason I do it is to be healthy and feel good, said the royal. Her husband praised his wife's excellent physical shape, thanks to a healthy lifestyle, daily training, and good nutrition. Something that is not only reflected in her good muscle tone, but also in her beautiful face, says Kitin. Kalina and Kitin began weight training together in Bulgaria in 2000. Bernardino Lombao, an Olympic athlete and specialist, directed our distance-based and speed-based running routines, Kalina told Hola. In 2019, we met Carlos Flores, who was the head of the competition committee of the International Fitness and Bodybuilding Federation, as well as one of the great pioneers of physical culture in Spain, and since then he has been our personal trainer. Kitin and I continue to train together 24 years later, she added. Kalina also involved her son in training. Simeon practices Kung Fu and also goes on expeditions with them. His parents are sure that adventures and challenges are the best school in life. Speaking of her passion for disciplined training, Kalina said, "When your body and mind say enough, your spirit must push and say, but in the end, it always pays off." In sports and health, Kalina added, "The key, like almost everything in life, is consistency, but you have to do it right." A bad lifestyle, drinking alcohol, smoking, overeating, and sleeping little leads to a day with less energy and poor or premature aging. Good nutrition, 8 hours of sleep, and good training are the keys to a healthy lifestyle and being in shape, she says. Princess Kalina claims that she changed her physical shape only thanks to fitness and a healthy lifestyle. But looking at her muscles, it's hard to believe such shapes can only be achieved through a balanced diet. The muscles that the princess developed in just a few years may indicate that she may have been taking doping. And perhaps this is the reason for her intense physical transformation. However, these are just assumptions of many social media users. Anyway, the Princess of Bulgaria had to endure many difficult life trials, many years in exile, far from her homeland, then a severe illness and infection that deformed her face, constant annoying attention from the press and hype in the media, and a road accident. But despite everything, Princess Kalina overcomes difficulties because she has her beloved husband who accepts her for who she is and supports her. In general, I am very pleased. Pleasant moments. I grew up next to my father, married, and gave birth to a wonderful son. I have many reasons to be grateful to God, says the princess. Did her story touch you? Please let me know what you think about it in the comments, and thanks for watching.